Stop right there. Agent Marcus yelled, sprinting through the crowded parking lot as three white teens bolted toward a stolen SUV. One boy glanced back, grinning, clutching an old woman's purse like a trophy. Then a police siren wailed, but it wasn't for them. The officer waved them through, eyes locking instead on Marcus. His badge gleamed, but justice had just turned upside down. Marcus froze for half a second, the siren's echo slicing through the air like a warning he couldn't name. The cops weren't chasing robbers. They were chasing him. He turned slowly, badge raised, voice steady but breath tight. "I'm FBI," he shouted, flashing the gold emblem. But the officer's hand stayed firm on his holster, sunglasses hiding eyes that refused to see truth. The three white boys, no older than 19, jumped into their SUV, engine roaring. Tires screeched, smoke burst from the pavement, and they were gone. Marcus stood there, heart hammering, watching the taillights vanish as the patrol car blocked his path instead of clearing it. "Hand where I can see them," the cop barked. He obeyed, disbelief washing over him like cold rain. His mother's voice echoed in his head, her trembling call from 5 minutes ago. Marcus, they took my purse, my medicine, everything. "Please, baby, hurry." He had hurried. Too fast, maybe. Fast enough to get mistaken for the threat instead of the savior. By the time the officer verified his ID, the boys were long gone. Marcus's jaw tightened. "Every minute counts," he said through his teeth. "They're headed east, run the cameras." But the cop only shrugged. "We'll file a report, sir. Not our jurisdiction." Marcus could taste the bitterness on his tongue. Not our jurisdiction. The words felt like poison, clean, bureaucratic poison. He walked back to his car, scanning every security camera along the parking lot, memorizing angles, exits, license plates. He'd find them himself. He didn't need permission. At the precinct later that night, a thin drizzle covered the streets, painting every light in a soft blur. Marcus accessed a private database, tracking a Silver 4 Explorer registered under a fake name. 3 known delinquents, Trent Miller, Cody Briggs, and Josh Dean, linked to minor hate crime graffiti cases in Baton Rouge. Now they'd escalated. He zoomed in on surveillance still, his mother's face blurred in fear as Trent yanked her purse. Something inside Marcus cracked. He drove through the rain, every mile stretching like a moral test. He was an agent, trained to protect the law. But tonight, the law had failed the one woman who taught him to believe in it. His phone buzzed. An unknown number. He hesitated, then answered. A young voice mocking. "You the big FBI man looking for his mommy's purse?" Marcus's grip tightened on the wheel. "Where are you?" Laughter on the other end. "You should have stayed out of our town, Fed." Then the line went dead. He pulled over, breathing hard, listening to the night. The sound of rain mixed with distant thunder. Then, through the static, another buzz, an incoming text, a live video link. He clicked it. The boys were filming themselves, laughing, drinking, throwing the old woman's purse around like a game. "Say hi to your mama's hero, Marcus," one shouted before tossing the purse into a fire barrel. Flames burst high, licking the edges of her photo ID. Marcus's vision blurred. He stepped out of the car, rain pouring down his face. "You think this is funny," he whispered, voice trembling, "but I'm coming." He traced the location data, an abandoned service station off Route 9. But as he started the car again, another vehicle slid in behind him, headlights off, engine low, a black sedan. No plates. He glanced at the mirror, heart thudding faster. A phone rang on the passenger seat. Unknown caller again. He picked up. Silence. Then a different voice, older, calmer. "Agent Johnson," the voice said. "You're in over your head. Step away from this case." "Who is this?" The line crackled. "You know who I am. And you know those boys aren't acting alone." Marcus's blood ran cold. There was something in the tone, authority, governmental, internal. He slowed the car, pulse pounding. You're protecting them? No, the voice said. I'm protecting you. Then the call ended. Marcus stared at the dark road ahead, rain glistening on the asphalt like broken glass. Somewhere out there, 3 boys were laughing at a system that bent for them. Somewhere behind him, someone powerful was making sure it stayed that way. He drove on anyway, because justice, real justice, didn't wait for permission. And tonight, justice was angry. The storm had settled over the highway like a warning. Lightning cracked open the sky as Marcus parked a mile from the old service station, his windshield streaked with rain and fury. The flames from a barrel still flickered in the distance, the same one from a video. He moved quietly, heart-pounding, gun drawn but mind sharper than his aim. Inside the station, laughter echoed, raw, careless, untouchable. Trent and Cody were tossing beer cans at the wall, their boots crunching over broken glass. Josh sat by the door, scrolling through his phone, live streaming their chaos to a handful of viewers. Marcus stepped into the light. It's over, he said, voice steady, badge glinting through the dim smoke. For a heartbeat, silence. Then Trent turned, grin lazy and poisonous. Over? For who? He said. You can't arrest us, federal. Not without your boys backing you up. Marcus's jaw tightened. Try me. Trent lifted a hand, not in surrender, but in mockery. See, that's the problem. Guys like you think you matter. But out here, no one cares about your badge. You're just another black man with a gun. The word sliced through the air. Marcus felt every syllable burn like acid. But before he could answer, headlights flared outside. Another car pulling up fast. A deep voice shouted, Federal agents, drop your weapon. Marcus froze. He turned toward the sound. 2 agents stepping into the doorway, weapons drawn. His own team. But their aim wasn't on the boys. It was on him. What the hell are you doing? Marcus barked. One of the agents, Daniels, didn't blink. Orders from above. You're off this case. Cody laughed, leaning against the counter. Told you, man. You ain't one of them. Marcus's heart slammed against his ribs. He lowered his weapon slowly, trying to think. He saw it now, the connections, the hidden protection. The boys weren't just kids. Their fathers were donors, judges, men with strings tied deep into system. Daniels hesitated, lowering his weapon just a little. Marcus, don't make this harder. Then Trent made his mistake. He sneered, lifting the old woman's burned photo from the table. Guess your mama won't be needing this anymore. Something inside Marcus snapped. He lunged forward, knocking Trent into the counter. The photo fluttered to the floor. The other agent shouted, chaos erupting, one gun fired, a window shattered. Marcus shoved Trent away and turned, his gun sliding across the floor. For a moment, everything froze, smoke, rain, breath. Then Daniel stepped in, lowering his weapon at last. Enough, he barked. We'll take them in. But Trent's arrogance didn't fade. You can't touch us. My dad got lawyers who... Marcus cut him off with a cold stare. Your dad can't unburn the truth. He pointed toward the security camera blinking red in the corner. The boys turned pale. Marcus had been streaming the entire confrontation live to the Bureau's secure server. Every word, every insult, every bullet, recorded. Outside, sirens wailed again, but this time they were coming for the right people. Trent's smirk finally cracked. Cody dropped his beer, hands trembling. Josh tried to run but slipped on the wet floor. Marcus stood in the doorway, rain soaking his face, watching his justice, real, raw, unfiltered. Finally caught up to them. Daniels approached quietly. You just made enemies in high places, he said. Marcus looked back, eyes fierce but calm. Then they should learn what it feels like to be hunted. As the boys were let out into the storm, Marcus picked up the half-burned photo of his mother, edges singed but her smile still whole. He tucked it into his jacket, walked toward the flashing lights, and didn't look back. Because tonight, for the first time, the system had to watch itself burn. The next morning, the storm had passed, leaving the city washed and quiet. News cameras swarmed the bureau steps as Marcus walked out, his mother's picture still tucked in his coat pocket. The live footage of the takedown had gone viral overnight. Every network, every phone screen flashing the same question. Why did it take one man breaking the rules for justice to finally work? The three boys were in custody now, faces pale under the harsh light of accountability. But the story had become bigger than them. Politicians scrambled, police chiefs gave statements, and somewhere in the noise, people started whispering his name like a dare. Agent Marcus Johnson, the man who turned the badge back toward the truth. He didn't feel like a hero. Sitting beside his mother's hospital bed, watching her rest, he felt only the weight of what it had cost. You did what was right, she whispered, eyes weak but proud, even when right was the hardest thing. Marcus nodded, fingers brushing the photo's burned edge. I just wanted them to see you, really see you. Outside the window, sunlight cut to the gray, lighting the skyline in slow gold. The world would move on, as it always did, but something inside him had shifted forever. He had seen what justice looked like when it bled, imperfect, defiant, and real. Weeks later, he resigned from the bureau. No press conference, no applause. He started a foundation in his mother's name, the Johnson Initiative for Equal Defense, giving free legal access to family silenced by bias and bureaucracy. Each case he took reminded him that law was never meant to belong to the powerful. One night, after a community meeting, a young black kid approached him shyly. "Sir," the boy said, holding out a notebook, "I want to be an agent too. Like you." Marcus smiled, signing the notebook with slow, careful letters. "Then promise me one thing," he said. "Never serve power. Serve people." As the boy ran off, Marcus stood under the streetlight, rain beginning again, soft and forgiving. He looked up, the world reflected in the wet pavement, bruised but not broken, because sometimes justice doesn't roar. It whispers, and when it whispers loud enough, the whole world finally listens. Asterisk story only for you. Subscribe for more cinematic stories that challenge silence and honor truth. Asterisk.